Hey, Mustard. Good evening. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. I just wanted to see what was going on lately with the war. Honey, do you have any updates?
I really haven't heard much about it today,
Okay.
to be honest.
I have some videos that I would love to share with you guys. Welcome. Okay, let's see what I have. What is he?
So, as you guys know, because you watch this show, and I'm sure many other online shows that tell you the truth, the axis of Epstein is currently getting absolutely hammered by Iran. And what this war has revealed is just immense U.S. weakness, okay? Because what
sorry about
our military
that.
was geared towards was like
Insomnia.
fighting something like the Cold War, where it didn't actually
Yeah.
become a hot war, and the goal was to be like, look, we have the biggest, baddest weapons and guns and missiles and bombs and nuclear arsenal.
Let me give him a minute because he just comes straight out. There's no warning with him. There's just the missiles is coming and watch out. Let me let everybody come in. I'm gonna rewind it. Oh, well, I'm glad that you're here. Mustard said it's 3 a.m. and they have insomnia. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. I love it. Our Annabelle, she probably is asleep. I don't know what time it is where Annabelle is because it's 10 o'clock here. It's 10:00. Is it? I just thought we would get an update on the situation. I think I did the Joe Biden earlier. Trump is so bad. Oh, he said something about Nazis. Okay, this is the one I want.
All right, guys, there was some huge news that dropped earlier today that I wanted to share with you. There's this guy by the name of Joe Kent, and he is the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. And he came out and he resigned.
I couldn't sleep, so we're going to watch a little bit of the war situation and see what the heck is going on right now with it, and see, do we need to just still be calm or do we need to be concerned? And then I want to roll over to Meghan because there's a book out about her and it doesn't paint her in the best of lights. And we're going to watch that together. So we're not going to spend too much time on Trumpadoo, okay? Welcome. Is it Brooke? Doggy, doggy dog. Interesting. Interesting. I like your new channel, Stormy. I got to come over and see you. You are? Good for you. What do you do for work?
And he said specifically he's resigning in protest of the war with Iran. He said, quote, "After much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center effective today. I cannot, in good conscience, support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this."
Oh my. Did you guys hear that? So basically what he's saying is that the director of terrorism quit? That's big.
That's a big thing.
You got people quitting on you, Donald Trump? You got people quitting on you? Hello? Quit-a-do. Oh, I see. Mustard. Interesting name. I see, that's your drink. I get it, Mr. Mischief. Well, it's very nice to meet you. It really is. Stormy, and there's also Brooke. Doggy dog, welcome. Samantha. Hi, Samantha. Hi, doggy dog. And we also have Stormy. Yes. And Rosemary, hello. Welcome. Don't be. We just started. I'm going to rewind it. So it sounds like someone in Donald Trump's administration has quit because they don't agree with the war. And this person that quit is a high-ranking government official. I hope my computer don't get hot. I'm doing everything to prevent it from getting hot. Hello, highly sensitive. Hello, hello, hello. Letitia Adu. That's a first. Letitia Adu. Oh, you're a chef? Oh, that's interesting.
Director of National Counterterrorism.
Right. Exactly. National counter-terrorism. He's like an important guy for us. But he's decided he's walking away. Whew. I don't feel safe without him.
To share with you, there's this guy by the name of Joe Kent, and he is the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. And he came out and he resigned, and he said specifically he's resigning in protest of the war with Iran. He said, quote, "After much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center effective today. I cannot, in good conscience, support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this." So the reason why this is such a big deal is this is the first resignation from anybody in MAGA over some principled thing like
he
this.
had me right up until he started blaming us. I know, it is our fault. This is our fault. This is not anybody else's fault, but our fault. Donald Trump's fault. And did you see how he put it on our? We? God dang. Are people listening? This is big news. Oh, thank you. Her name was Samantha. Samantha. Oh, you know Samantha. Am I the only one that don't know Samantha? Oh, you guys are friends. That is so cool. I like that. Hello, Joe. Yes! I believe that. I believe that we need to be concerned.
JD Vance is like slurping Trump's ball sweat. Tulsi Gabbard is humiliating herself on a daily basis, even though she protected from anybody in MAGA over some principled thing like this. JD Vance is like slurping Trump's ball sweat. Tulsi Gabbard is humiliating herself on a daily basis, even though she pretended like she was all about being anti-war. Meanwhile, now she's, a warmonger just like the rest of them. But this guy...
That's on normal speed. He goes fast. I hope you guys caught that. I am not rewinding it.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was...
Every now and then, he just gets loose.
He snaps. He did a snap-a-do. Okay? Ooh. Excuse him. Excuse him. He did a snap-a-do. That's what we call a snap-a-do. Let's continue.
Coming out and saying this is a huge deal. Resigning is a huge deal. Now people are speculating that he's probably going to go on Tucker Carlson's show and basically spill all the tea on what was going on behind the scenes.
You think? Or will they try to silence him?
Of course, MAGA is absolutely furious because this is real cracks in the foundation that are beginning to show in a way where now it's not just the commentators and the pundits. Now it's people.
He said it for me. He said real cracks are beginning to show, which means you and your administration aren't getting along. You and the people you have put into power to be over a situation no longer wants to work with you, Donald Trump. They're out of there. And he is blaming the war on you. God. Is everybody here tonight? Wake up. Wake up. It's important. It's all about us. Wake-a-do, wake-a-do, wake-a-do.
From within the regime going, you know what, this was fucked up and this was wrong. So that's kind of a big deal. So Caroline Leavitt was scrambling over this, and she released this long statement basically trying to poo what this guy was saying and smack him down. And she said, there are many false claims in this letter, but let me address one specifically, that Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. And then she goes on to explain how, well, of course there was an imminent threat to this nation. He's not telling the truth. All right, ready for this? What was it, a week ago or some shit? she posted this long thing and she ended it with, to be clear, no such threat from Iran to our homeland exists, and it never did.
So what are we doing over there? Why are we there? What's the point?
So this is like, with the insane stupidity and incompetence of this regime, they don't even realize they're contradicting themselves from one day to the next. And so they don't know whether they're coming or going. They're running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Meanwhile, this guy Joe Kent he's gonna come out.
Not the chicken with the head cut off. That's something my mom would say. Whoa, who is running around with their head looking like a chicken cut off? Who?
He's gonna come out. He's gonna tell his story. I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely catastrophic for them. The one thing about what he did, though, which is sort of bullshit, is that he only blames Israel for this, and he tries to almost excuse Trump completely and put all the blame on Netanyahu and all the blame on Israel. And I view that as complete bullshit, right? But either way, he is resigning over it, so absolutely credit for that.
Yeah, he just said that we started this. Yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit, because it's hard to go against the boss. And now he's quitting, he's stepping down. That's a big to do.
Some people on Twitter were saying this guy Joe Kent bombed Fallujah and Yemen, was financed by Peter Thiel. He loved Nick Fuentes' work in the past, but even this war was too insane for him. So you know that you're really out over your skis when this guy has had enough. He also predicted this in 2024. He was talking to Tucker back in 2024, and Kent said that the U.S. can probably penetrate the air defense for a shock and awe campaign against Iran if we went to war with them. He said there will be quick results to celebrate, but in the long run, the war will be messy. Iranians will rally around their leaders, and this will unite them. And, quote, Iran has been an empire for centuries, and they will not go anywhere, and that the war would be, quote, very bloody. So, unlike Tulsi and unlike J.D. Vance, he sounded anti-war in the past, and now he's actually living those values in a way that they could never. And then I also wanted to point out for you guys.
Yeah, I heard that word before. Yoking. What does that mean? Wow, guys. Okay. It's just a lot going on.
That Sagar, Crystal's co-host, was,
and
he's sort of he knows some of the people in the regime, certainly on the periphery of the regime, and apparently I think he knows this guy to one extent or another, and he comes out and says that they're basically going to try to destroy this guy. That what's going to happen is it's very likely that they try to indict him. It's very likely that they're trying to say that he breached his security clearance, giving away top secret information and classified information, and that they're going to try to make an example of this guy to basically say, no, if you're in this thing, you're in this thing. There's no way around it. There's no way out of it. You got to slurp Trump's ball sweat from now until the end of time. Get used to it. Get used to being a little cuck for the MAGA regime. You cannot have principles.
I don't want to have a vision of the president's balls.
That's gross.
Okay, no, thank you.
You cannot have values. You cannot be a conscientious objector. They will not allow it. But look, I wish I could tell you that this is going to be the start of a trend and that there's going to be others resigning over this, but I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt that that's the case. But at least we'll get some of the inside tea from this guy. And this is a major, big, fat L for Trump. And hopefully this, this has some consequences beyond just one news cycle.
Consequences. Oh.
Donald Trump just had a complete meltdown in the Oval Office. He's with the Taoiseach of Ireland right now.
He is my favorite because he always come on here like, guess what happened? Breaking news. Donald Trump is in some serious trouble. Guess what is going on? You know, that's how he like this is the end of the world. He's the one scares me the most. This guy right here, the one that kind of puts me in a fear mode. We're gonna move on. How long we been watching this? Okay, only been online for 21 minutes. Good. Because I want to get to Meghan. I do. I want to get to that book. I heard she got dissed. They're broke and their relationship is a fake-a-do. And we always knew that. But word on the curb. So I do want to get to that.
And Donald Trump's been attacking NATO. He was asked a question about whether the United States should withdraw from NATO as a result of the fact that no one wants to help Donald Trump in the Strait of Hormuz after Trump lied and said he had an entire coalition helping him. And Donald Trump's like, we may do it. I may pull out. I don't need any congressional approval if I want to pull out of NATO. I'm going to show you that in a moment. But right before Donald Trump was in the Oval Office, here's what he posted. He goes, the United States has been informed by most of our NATO allies that they don't want to get involved with our military operation against the terrorist regime of Iran in the Middle East. This despite the fact
it's not a terrorist. Who's the terrorist? That's that stupid stuff. Babe, Iran is terrorist? A terrorist regime of Iran in the Middle East. This despite the fact that almost every country strongly agreed with what we were doing. No, people were not okay with this. Listen to this. And that Iran cannot in any way, shape, or form be allowed to have a nuclear weapon as if they had one. That's the lie. That's why I don't believe anything this president says. Excuse me. Jeez.
that almost every country strongly agreed with what we are doing and that Iran cannot in any way, shape, or form be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. I am not surprised by their action, however, because I always consider NATO, where we spend hundreds of billions of dollars per year protecting these same countries, to be a one-way street. We will protect them, but they will do nothing for us. In particular,
no, that is not true. You're starting a war on your own, and no one wants to be a part of this silliness. And no one in your cabinet is telling you to pipe down. You know what they're doing? They're encouraging you. This is really like, what? Get involved for what? What does he want them to do? Bomb them too? That's just mean. These people. And then they'll say, oh, they're celebrating. They're so glad Donald Trump is doing all this. That don't make sense.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
in a time need. Fortunately, we have decimated Iran's military. Their navy is gone. Their air force is gone. Their anti-aircraft and radar is gone. And perhaps most importantly, their leaders at virtually every level are gone, never to threaten us, our Middle Eastern allies, or the world again. Because of the fact that we have had such military success, we no longer need or desire the NATO countries' assistance. We never did. Likewise, Japan, Australia, or South Korea. In fact, speaking as
God, this is our president of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Jeez. No, he's speaking for himself. He does not speak for us.
These other countries are looking at me like, are you nuts?
Yeah. Hello.
You started it, now you want us to do
Yeah.
what?
Oh, to do.
Yeah. He's still threatening Cuba.
And he needs to leave poor Cuba alone. Because is it Canada that's preparing for Donald Trump? Canada spent $40 billion on defense mechanisms against the United States because they heard something about an invasion. One of your guys told me that.
Said what now?
That Canada spent, and correct me if I'm wrong, spent $40 billion on defense to protect themselves against the United States in case of an invasion. They're spending that money now.
Wow.
Yeah. $40 billion. They are not playing. They are ready to fight the United States. That doesn't sound like they are planning to play golf.
No.
That's shit. Woo. Help me.
President of the United States of America, by far the most powerful country anywhere in the world. We don't need the help of.
Did he bragging on himself? Talking about we're the most powerful country in the world. Stop. Stop patting yourself on the back.
I feel like he's weakening us.
Yeah, he is.
He's putting us in dangerous situations. He's not. They're not planning. They're not. It's just.
No. It's just spontaneous.
Spontaneous, right? Spontaneous.
Anyway. Now he's blaming these other allies because they're like, we ain't getting involved in your cuckoo. No, we see ain't nobody sane over there running the United States of America. Just what the hell? What he's gonna do? Take Iran from Iran? Is that what we're doing?
Nobody knows because he never made a case to the American people. He just decided he's going to do all this unilaterally. No congressional approval. Nobody knows what's going on. And they're just all over the place.
Wow.
Everybody says they weren't even close to a nuke. I mean, and that he's trying to say that we're going to have it in a couple of weeks. That's ridiculous. He's lying.
Wow. Interesting.
Of anyone, and he puts that in caps. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. Well, straight Hormuz is still closed right now. Iran continues to launch ballistic missile and Shahed drone strikes at the.
Wow.
Who the hell is he talking to? Seriously. Like that whole, was it a text? Was it a memo? Like,
When he gets on True Social and posts stuff,
Jesus.
that's, he'll
Who
go on.
is he talking to? Oh,
neighboring Arab nations where there are American military bases and American interests. And just the other day, you were begging for help of NATO nations and of other allies, and they don't want to help because you don't have a plan at all, and you started an unlawful war. Now, going to the Oval Office, Donald Trump was asked by a reporter, hey, you just posted that. So are you thinking about getting out of NATO, Donald? And he says, yeah, I can do it. I'm disappointed in NATO. I don't need Congress. I'll make that.
that's that stupid shit. Aren't that our allies? Is
We
it?
need
Aren't?
friends. We need allies.
Oh God, dang.
I think we need allies. You don't want to go it alone.
So he's making these major decisions, and what the hell is Congress doing? Sitting back watching this show? Guys, come on.
That decision myself. Watch as Donald Trump threatens to have the United States leave NATO right now. Here, play this clip.
Are you rethinking the United States' relationship with NATO possibly getting out?
Well, I'm disappointed in NATO that we spend trillions of dollars on NATO. Think of it, trillions over the years, many trillions of dollars. It's one of the reasons we have deficits and we help other countries. And when they don't help us, I mean, it's certainly something that we should think about. I don't need Congress for that decision. As you probably know, I can make that decision myself. I'd work with some very smart people.
Then
Oh, shit.
He doesn't listen to anybody. So what's the point?
Oh, my God. You know what? I don't think NATO is going to be upset.
Well, I think they want us as an ally, of course. I mean, we have the strongest.
Why would? How would
But,
we be to anyone
we
when
don't want
he
an
is like
leader.
this?
I mean, this dude just
When
on
he's
his
like
own.
this,
Yeah,
he's
go
not gonna help.
No.
I don't see it.
Donald Trump starts attacking different world leaders. He points to
That's disrespectful.
a bust of Winston Churchill behind him. And he goes, you know, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, he's no Churchill, and just starts insulting Keir Starmer. By the way,
No
you have the
way.
Prime Minister, the Taoiseach, if you will, of Ireland there, while Donald Trump is saying,
Oh my God. Debbie, this is your president. Are you embarrassed by his behavior? Oh.
here, play this clip.
Mr. President.
You see that man right there? You know who that is?
Churchill.
Winston Churchill. The late, great Winston Churchill. And Barack Hussein Obama did not want his bust in this office. Did you know that? And Barack Hussein Obama sent that bust back to England. They didn't want it. And when I came in, I was asked if I wanted it. I said, absolutely, I want it. And I put it right there, Winston Churchill. And, you know, unfortunately, Keir is not Winston Churchill.
Then Donald Trump starts in.
Wow. And what are you? They said hello, Happy Do.
hello.
Yeah, Ellen DeGenerate moved to England. She wasn't playing. Do you blame her now? Ellen? moved to England.
Yeah.
She got the hell out of here. Wow. Exactly. Exactly, Samantha. With friends like that, who needs enemies? Oh, she was. And she came back to the US. Her kids are here, aren't they? This is some shockadoo.
Insulting Emmanuel Macron. Here, play this clip.
President Macron has just said in the last hour that he will never join a task force in the Strait of Hormuz until hostilities finish. Yet yesterday you said...
Who said that?
President Macron of France. What's your reaction to that?
Well, he'll be out of office very soon, so we'll have to see. I don't know.
Next, Donald Trump is asked a question by a member of the Irish press that the president of Ireland says that your war against Iran is unlawful. Donald Trump doesn't realize that the president of Ireland is a female, Catherine Connolly. She's condemned it. I think Trump thinks that the Taoiseach who's there, who's basically like the prime minister, is the president, and he confuses her. He confuses him with the president of Ireland. And then Donald Trump's like, he's lucky I exist. He's lucky I exist. Here, watch for yourself.
The Irish president has said that your war against Iran is illegal. It's an attack on international law.
Who said that?
The Irish president.
Look, he's lucky I exist. That's all I can say. Because if you're going to allow countries that are sick and demented, and they are demented, to have nuclear weapons, everybody in the whole world should be very thankful. And I'm disappointed in NATO, very disappointed. I'm disappointed in a couple of other countries too. But they should be very thankful that this group of people feels the way we do. Because if a country like Iran was allowed to have the power of a nuclear weapon, if we didn't...
You know what? Coulda, shoulda, woulda, if, woulda, doulda, if. And they don't have the power to do it. This is such bullshit.
Stop them. I stopped them twice.
I stopped him twice. He's lying. Honey.
Stopped him my first term when I terminated the Iran nuclear deal, which was Barack Obama's deal. It was one of maybe the worst deal I've ever seen. It gave everything to Iran, including billions of dollars in green cash. I don't mean cash. I mean green cash flown over by airplanes.
A reporter then asked Donald Trump, if Iran is a bigger foreign policy priority than China. And Donald Trump's like, what are you talking about? We won this war after 2 to 3 days. Right now, we're just staying in Iran because, like, whatever. That's why we're there. Here, play this clip.
And Cuba, the Cuban government.
Iran is just a military operation to me. Iran is something that was essentially largely over in 2 or 3 days because the Navy was wiped out almost immediately. The Air
They are still standing. Why is he saying that? Oops. I'm still wondering if Putin has mommy issues. Oh. Jeez. I'm just gonna rewind that just a tad. I I want to hear him say the war is over.
Something that was essentially largely over in 2 or 3 days because the Navy was wiped out almost immediately. The Air Force came next. The anti-aircraft came next. I mean, we're flying over Iran. We could take out their electric capacity in 1 hour. We have all there's nothing they can do right now because everything is knocked out.
Then if you got it so under control, then why are you asking help from your allies, from NATO? What are you needing from NATO since you got this under control? I just wonder.
We have no radar, no anti-aircraft. They have nothing. And we don't, and it was a decision I made. We discussed it, Pete, Marco, JD, all of us, Chris, we discussed it. We can knock out their electricity in a matter of minutes if we wanted to. There's nothing they can do about it. We can knock out their oil in Carg Island. The only thing we didn't take down was their oil because if we knock out, I call them the pipes, very complex.
Next, a reporter asked Donald Trump, like, do you have like plans for like after you leave Iran? And he's like, we have a lot and we'll leave in the near future. What are you even talking? What are the plans then? Here, play this clip.
Iran is just a military operation to you. But do you not have a day after plan? And if so, what is your day after plan for Iran?
Well, we have a lot. Look, if we left right now, it would take 10 years for them to rebuild. But we're not ready to leave yet. But we'll be leaving in the near future.
Is he lying? Because at first, now he's saying that we took out their capacity to make this nuclear bomb. So why are we still over there? We'll be leaving soon. We'll be leaving in the future. I just don't believe that. Is he telling the truth?
If we left right now, it would take 10 years for them to rebuild. But we're not ready to leave yet. But we'll be leaving in the near future. We'll be leaving in pretty much the very near future. But right now, they've been decimated from every standpoint. And again, we've had great support from countries in the Middle East, great support. But we've had no support from, essentially, no support from NATO.
All right, Donald. Well, what's your time frame for when cargo ships can safely go through the Strait of Hormuz? Donald Trump's like, it won't be long. It won't be long. We're being helped by the Middle Eastern countries. Here, play this clip.
What's your time frame, Mr. President, for when cargo ships can safely go through the Strait of Hormuz?
It won't be, I don't believe, too long. We're knocking the hell out of the coast. It's basically the coast and the water. And it won't be too long. And the Middle Eastern states, including Israel, by the way, who has been terrific, the Middle Eastern states have been helping us a lot.
I'm so excited to share with you guys C15 from Fatty 15, the first emerging essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years. It's an incredible scientific breakthrough to support our long-term health and wellness. And you guessed it, healthy aging. Fatty 15 co-founder Dr. Stephanie Van Watson,
who just resigned as the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. Donald Trump was a big Joe Kent supporter. Donald Trump, when he nominated Joe Kent, says that he's a wonderful guy and he's going to help America stay safe. Donald Trump's been a big Joe Kent supporter, and now Donald Trump insults Joe Kent, and Joe Kent resigned from the position of director of National Counterterrorism Center early today. He was Tulsi Gabbard's number 2, basically, because he objects to the war in Iran, which he believes is an unlawful war. And this guy's a combat veteran. He's ultra MAGA. In the MAGA world, he's got a lot of kind of MAGA bona fides. And watch Donald Trump attack Joe Kent and say, he's not a smart guy. He's not smart. Here, play this clip.
If I didn't terminate Obama's horrible deal that he made, the Iran nuclear deal, you would have had a nuclear war 4 years ago. You would have had nuclear holocaust, and you would have had it again.
He stopped it. I don't trust him. Let me see what my chat is saying. Guys.
If we didn't bomb the site. So when somebody is working with us that says they didn't think Iran was a threat, we don't want those people because, and there are some people, I guess I would say that, but they're not smart people or they're not savvy people. Iran was a tremendous threat. And virtually every NATO nation, and this is the thing.
Next, Donald Trump starts attacking BBC and says, if you watch BBC, you'll think that this war is like a draw. We're winning this thing. BBC is like a criminal enterprise. He goes and attacks BBC. Let's play this clip.
Have decimated that country. And if you watch BBC, it's almost like they're fighting us to a draw. They're not fighting us to a draw. It was very inaccurate news. It was fake news. So I'm very proud of the term fake news because it was my term. I came up with it, but it's no longer accurate. It really is. It's corrupt, fraudulent news. It really is. It's fraudulent. It's not just fake. It's beyond fake. It's really criminal what they do. But I watched BBC this morning, and I don't know much about BBC other than what took place, because people were calling me saying, that was a terrible thing you said. I said, what did I say? And I said, I never said that. And when we checked it, do you agree? They agree. It was somehow generated, I guess, by AI or something, with me saying unbelievable. So we brought a lawsuit against them. They admit they're guilty, but we'll see how it comes out. Thank you. I like that question.
Then Donald Trump starts talking about windmills and how he doesn't like windmills.
Oh, God.
Like, as we're in a massive, right? As we're in a massive war where there's a oil shock right now, and where other forms of energy would be needed. This is what Donald Trump's doing, saying that we got to get rid of windmills and solar. Here, play this clip.
See, why are they buying oil from Norway? But they have windmills all over the country, destroying those gorgeous Scottish fields and those beautiful fields all over. The windmills, which don't work. They're tremendously expensive. And the best testament to that is the windmills are made in China, but China doesn't use them. You know what China uses? Coal. They're building 58 coal-fired plants right now, and that's up to them. But these foolish countries that are buying windmills are putting them out of business. I'm proudly telling you that we're going to try and have no windmills built in the United States during my. They're very bad. They're very bad environmentally. They kill the birds. They're unsightly. They make a lot of noise. And for some reason, the environmentalists love windmills. Okay.
He's a very nice man.
I think he's a nice man. I think he's a nice.
Then Donald Trump's like, nothing, I'm not.
Okay. Just a second. Hello, Michelle. Welcome. I like your comment. Hello, Diane. I've been hanging out with Highly Sensitive and Samantha. And Highly Sensitive. Welcome, Diane. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that's not true. It's like, oh, no one's listening. Okay, guys.
Scared of anything. I'm not afraid of anything at all. Here, play this clip.
Iran, because the Iranian regime has told Sky News If you put boots on the ground in Iran, it will be another Vietnam. Are you afraid of that?
No, I'm really not afraid of anything.
Another
He said, no, I'm not afraid of anything. You know, God, that you're starting another war. Oh, God, he is. No, he's not afraid of anything. Oh, no, we are happy to have you, Samantha. Yes, we hope you enjoyed it. Are you leaving? We're going to start talking about Meghan in a sec. But we're so glad to have you.
the reporter from Ireland tried to kind of clarify Donald Trump's response and say, hey, can you clarify, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you think about the fact that you're meeting with the Taoiseach right now, basically the Prime Minister of Ireland? The president of Ireland is saying that you're basically a war criminal, that you've engaged in unlawful conduct. Do you want to answer that question? I think Donald Trump is so confused. I think he believes he's with the president of Ireland right there is what I think. Anyway, here, play this clip right here.
What do you think about our president's comments that is breaking international law?
Say it.
What do you think about our president's comments?
Can you speak? You speak it right into your phone.
What?
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know.
What do you think about our president's comments?
Can you speak? You speak it right into your phone. Say it.
What do you think about our president's comments?
Can you speak? You speak it right into your phone.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think about all of that. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 7 million.
I missed that.
Do you want to answer that question? I think Donald Trump is so confused. I think he believes he's with the president of Ireland right there is what I think. Anyway, here, play this clip right here.
What do you think about our president's comments that is breaking international law?
Say it.
What do you think about our president's comments?
Can you speak? You speak it right into your phone.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think about.
Donald Trump spent yesterday and the weekend being, completely humiliated on the national stage. He's begging countries to help him. Like, please, I said it was like Jeb Bush, please clap, begging, reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The response from the EU, the EU said, we're not going to be blackmailed. This is not our war. We won't be pulled into a regional conflict. We're not going to get pulled into this conflict. The response from the UK, we will not be dragged into a wider conflict, is the exact quote. The response from Japan, no, thank you. And then the markets have noticed. And if you look at the markets this morning, the price of oil jumped about 4%. And so I don't know how high it can go before the people in the U.S. start staging major boycotts against this White House. I mean, one oil expert blamed, quote, mixed messages are coming from the Trump administration on the war's duration as the markets focus more on.
Of course. He's telling us one thing and doing another. I love Samantha. Oh, we're so glad you're here. Just hang out with us. You'll get to know her. Oh, it's early for Samantha. Okay, look, let's move on. For the one, let's get to 1 hour and then we'll move on. Because LL, Royal Routine, is like South Park. Chin M. Really? Okay, we will check that out. Okay. Um, God, I wanted to look at something. Hold on.
The actions on the ground that remain escalatory. So, I mean, diesel, the price of diesel now has hit the fastest 2-week increase ever.
Yep.
The national average is $5 per gallon.
Let me tell you one thing,
It's
Don,
above
that
$5
we've got
per
to
gallon.
factor
Sorry.
in here is that underneath inflation is one of the key drivers of inflation is the price of energy, because it ramifies through the whole economic model. It costs more to put diesel in a tractor. That tractor has to spend more per acre mile of work in a field. That costs the farmer more. That means your strawberries or your wheat or your corn or your soybeans or whatever it is costs more. It costs more to ship that to a silo. It costs more to ship that from the silo to processing. It costs more to ship it from processing to a grocery store. All these things add and add and add and add. And when you've got $4 a gallon gas, as you point out on the slide, $1.21 in a week or in 2 weeks, that is enormous. This is a massive shock. It is going to goose inflation. It is going to drive, paradoxically, it's going to raise inflation, and it's going to drop economic productivity. It's going to drop job growth, which is already suffering very badly. Trump's the worst jobs president in modern history. Thank you very much. And it also means the Federal Reserve isn't going to cut rates anytime in the near future. This model right now, look, the December futures on oil are at $75 a barrel, which is a little lower than it is right now, but that still means we're going to be paying $3.65 a gallon for gas. And that's if the war goes perfectly and we just taco and leave and everything goes back to normal. There is a scenario where we get Brent crude at $200 a barrel, and it wipes out the stock market. It wipes out America's economy. This is all because Donald Trump was too distracted and too easily persuaded to get into a war that was going to wreck the global economy for everybody except China.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's talk about this, because Asia's over us. I mean, and I'll tell you why, because people think like, oh, most of the oil, America gets most of its oil from, the overseas or Strait of Hormuz, and that's not right. The United States is not even at the top. It actually receives, I think, like 2.5% of the oil coming out of the Strait. More than 90% of it goes to countries in Asia. China receives more than a third of its oil. China canceled a summit with the U.S. over tensions of the Strait. That's according to Iran. China is now offering them military intel.
You are funny.
Look, if you are China, you're getting your oil supplies from the Gulf, and you know what? Those tankers are still getting through. Those tankers are still, the Iranians aren't touching those tankers. So Trump has done the absolutely impossible thing of making Xi the responsible diplomatic and political leader in the Pacific. And now Xi feels like his sphere of influence can expand mightily, including in matters of Taiwan. And I had a longtime friend in South Korea who emailed me a couple days ago, and he said, does no one in your country realize the massive amount of stuff we ship to you every day, to say nothing of Japan and China, that has to go over on tankers that have to use diesel fuel? And so you're going to pay more. You've gotten a tariff. Now you're going to have a gas tax on top of the tariff tax.
Oh, stop.
And all of this, I mean, I keep emphasizing this to everybody. This is all Trump's decision. He decided to do this. He didn't want us to go back to business on talking about Epstein. And so he decided he would blow up the entire economy of our country and the world, get us into a war that he has no plan to win and no plan to get out of. And now we're going to send 5,000 Marines to invade Karg Island off the coast of Iran. This is madness at a level even for Trump. And again, so going back to Kent, looping back to that, Don, yes, a lot of people persuaded him, including Bibi, including MBS. A lot of bad people said this is a great idea. Lindsey Graham. A lot of bad people said this is a great idea. It'll be fun, and you'll be able to do this for 6 months, and nobody will care. No one explained to him that he was setting a fuse on a bomb that would blow up under the American economy. There's the only good side here is that Republicans should get ready to lose about 60 seats at this point if this keeps up. So
wow. Yeah,
people are blaming
Hassett. Yeah, Kevin Hassett carries the water for the White House, but even he is admitting that the war, if it continues, consumers are going to be hurt even further. Watch.
You mentioned that there are so many other things that come through the Strait of Hormuz that we do have concerns about. One would be fertilizer. Another would be helium, which is needed for the manufacture.
Look at the gas prices in these cities, guys. Look at this. Arizona, $4.69 a gallon. Six inches. $4.69. And diesel, $5.56. The trucks. Gas is $5.99 in California. I think it's $4 here. But my gas is more because I do the premium. So it's like $4 something. Yeah, it is. Oh, Florida. No, Jenny, he doesn't. Okay, so guess what, guys? I have a video of, we're going to stop, okay? I have a video of Sue Smith made, and put a 1 in the chat if you know who Sue Smith is. I am going to play her video. I think it would be great. Because I'm waiting on Demon Dictator to do the actual one that she recommended. Okay, and this one's a little shorter, and since it is getting late, I'll play this one. So get ready. And I love me some Sue Smith. She's great. This is the one that it person that we're not talking about anymore told her not to give me an interview. Here it is. Okay, I don't want to play her music. Look who's on the front page. Power, deceit, in the fight for the future of the royal family. Wow. Oh, you're funny, Samantha. All right, Rosemary. All right, Michelle E. Yes, this is Smith. We're going to watch our video. Okay. Yes, thank you, highly sensitive. I appreciate that. Thank you. Taking your advice. Okay, So this is Sue Smith.
Which is why this is so long. I'm sorry, but there's so much. Let's just get busy, shall we? Let's go. All right, really quickly, I wanted to start off with some comments that you guys left from one of my videos where it said, my name is Ferkel. Apparently, that word means colloquially in England, which means a little feel or feeling around for something. And a different subscriber said it's a German noun that means piglet, referring to an immature pig. It can also be used to describe a messy or contemptible person. Well, that's pretty apt. Okay, let's get busy. Tom Bauer's book Betrayal has dropped, and of course it's on pre-order in the UK. You cannot pre-order it in the Bauer's book Betrayal has dropped, and of course it's on pre-order in the UK. You cannot pre-order it in the United States, but we've had a little bit of information drop about this book, and that's what I want to cover. So one of the claims that came out was that Camilla told a friend that her stepson had been brainwashed by Meghan Markle. So here's in essence what Tom Bauer said happened. Initially, Harry and Meghan came back from their honeymoon and they had what was supposed to be a tea time reconciliation meeting between the brothers and their wives in William and Catherine's Kensington Palace apartment. Apparently, it spiraled out of control. William stuck his finger in Meghan's face. Meghan said, if you don't mind, get your finger out of my face. Tom Bauer claims that William disliked Meghan. It was very obvious, especially after his warning to Harry before they got married about how quickly their relationship was going.
Wow, he said that William had his hand in her face. Like, he did not like you. Girl, sounds like you are the menace to society. No, I don't think so. If the only way their titles are removed is Beatrice and Eugenie's titles are removed. Like, they removed everyone's title that is not a senior royal. That's what I think. But I just, for some reason, they're letting them have these titles.
And William's suspicion of Meghan was echoed by Catherine. Now, Meghan's certainty of purpose had seduced Harry, and those talents had alarmed William and Catherine because they both knew Harry was damaged by his youth. They both knew he drank. They both knew he used drugs. They both knew he'd been in therapy after Diana's death and that he had been unable to have a balanced relationship with a woman. And so they saw Meghan as a threat, not an ally. William and Catherine knew that Meghan didn't want to stay in London, and
they saw her as a threat. Did you hear that? They saw Meghan as a threat. Girl, you are a threat. Shoot. The ouch. That's pretty deep. Oh, see, Samantha says she knew right from the engagement interview. A lot of people say they saw it then. It took me a while. It took me a minute to come to terms with the fact that she was just being a menace. She was the problem. She was the threat. Harry came back, all confused, all brainwashed. I believe it. I believe 120% that he was brainwashed because he wasn't doing this cuckoo for Cocoa Puff stuff before. He wasn't. Okay. You gotta be more careful. This is some good juice. This is Sue Smith. Check her out. I don't have a mob tonight because they probably sleep. And I will put it in there myself. There you go.
Lamenting that Harry would never be king and she would never be queen. And so with Meghan's encouragement, Harry started to, move beyond the palace control and didn't want to be the spare anymore. Meghan had become a divisive agent. Harry was cutting off his old friends. He changed his phone number. He didn't tell the family. He was constantly.
Told you. Cut his family off. Cut his friends off. Cut everyone off for this chickadee right here. This Susie Homewrecker right here. Megadoo right here. She is the reason for the season. The reason why Harry left his home. The reason why Harry turned his back on his family. The reason why Harry is not speaking to his brother. The reason why he doesn't have a good relationship with his father. The reason why his father hasn't seen his kids. Because of this Jezebel right here. The controller. She controls him. She controls his thoughts, what we're going to do, how we're going to say it, how we're going to dance, when we're going to dance. Let's dance again. Let's dance again. Let's do a ballroom dance this time, and let's do it in the grass. And then we'll have, we'll have the baby Lily film it, the 5-year-old. So we supposed to believe all this stuff, this fairy tale, and Tom Bauer has come to town. The book.
Constantly seeking revenge from people. He mirrored Meghan's behavior.
He is beginning to mirror her behavior. Mirror her behavior. She was rude to our queen, very disrespectful. Samantha, highly sensitive. She did that to him. She brainwashed him. Meghan, how's your father? Hello? The one you haven't spoken to in decades lied and said you don't have his phone number. Him, that father. Hello, Cassandra. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. The grift that keeps on freaking grifting. Yeah, this was her idea to up and leave the UK and start a new family and sell Scamajam on the name of the Duchess of Sussex. Yeah, to be something more than, Oprah and be around all the A-listers. Oh shoot. Invisibet and Archie Bugs. That is I'm not responsible. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, Michelle. Michelle is cooking a dinner.
What's she having?
She's having green beans, ham, hock, and potatoes for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It does.
I like potatoes. Green beans.
Yeah. I heard from Paula that they sold out the tickets to go to Australia, but there was only 300 tickets. That's a lot of tickets to me. Hi, CC. She's in a jam. Yep, her reputation keeps going down. This book is not going to do it any justice.
Veered towards extremes, and simple dislike of things became passionate hatred. And that is why Camilla said he's been brainwashed. Of course, now we know that behind the scenes, the second the wedding was over, at Charles's birthday party, remember, they went to the birthday party, they delayed their honeymoon so that they could attend this birthday party, and then they left early so that they could head off to their honeymoon. So, but it was pretty obvious even then that there was tension behind the scenes with the family.
Yeah.
Well, what it comes down to is Meghan was unhappy that she married the spare and not the heir. So there you go. So that was one of the first things that came out from Tom Bower's book.
Wow.
Now, of course, after this was when they went off on their first tour, and Meghan was miserable the whole time, complaining that she wasn't getting paid.
This is evil. She's just evil. Complaining. She wasn't getting paid. Then she was complaining she married the spare and not the heir. Just a mess. Someone that was ungrateful.
To go around and shake people's hands and meet people, and she should have been paid. And of course, we found out later on that she paid for and brought Jessica Mulroney and her husband with her so they could hang out at the hotel. All right, let's move on to Sentibale. Now, 2 months after Spotify canceled Harry and Meghan's contract and called them effing grifters.
Tom Bauer, the charity. How Prince Harry went to war with his charity boss and lost.
Harry went with his friend Nacho, the suave Argentinian polo player and the face of Ralph Lauren. They went to play polo in Japan. Now, you should know that over the last 10 years, they had raised 10 million pounds for Sentebale, Harry's charity, which was in Lesotho and Botswana. And they were committed to donating another 1.5 million over 3 years by sponsoring an annual polo match in America and Singapore. So to fulfill this deal, Harry had agreed to participate in a panel discussion in Tokyo about the combined value of sport, community, and philanthropy before heading to a polo match in Singapore. He even said, I could happily live here. Now, of course, we know that back in 2008, it came out that 84,000 pounds of the 1.15 million raised through events, which included, by the way, a concert in memory of Diana and a TV doco featuring Harry. The charity's first director had been paid 100,000 pounds a year, plus the perk of a 4-bedroom villa with staff and a private education for his 3 children. A new chief executive had rescued the charity, but by 2022, many of the 560 rotating local staff that were caring for 78,000 children were complaining about their pay and conditions.
Wow.
It was a camp financed by a donor for 250,000 pounds that had been abandoned, and Harry hadn't even asked the chief executive, Richard Miller, to visit Lesotho since his appointment in 2019, and locals in Africa assumed Harry was uninterested. When Harry got to Japan, he was really angry because Haruhisa Handa had a very loud executive director named Midori Miyazaki. I hope I'm saying that right. He agreed to one dinner for 20 people, and he discovered that she had arranged for him to speak in an arena to more than 2,000 people, followed by a gala dinner for 250 guests. And he also realized very few had ever even heard of Sentabale. So he felt that he was being manipulated and exploited by Mizuyaki, and Harry complained to Sophie Chanduka, who was the new chairwoman. So a potential casualty Dr. Chanduka discovered was Mizuyaki. She had exploited Harry in Tokyo because she knew that Harry relied on Handa's donation, but she failed to take into account Harry's moods. And Chanduka discovered that Harry hated talking about money, and he expected her to resolve all the problems created by all her predecessors. So it was Chanduka's responsibility to tell Harry the heart's truth that Sentabale was really struggling, and that the 2 directors based in London were earning 350,000 pounds plus many extras. They were overpaid. They were underperforming. There were all kinds of problems. And during her intense conversations with Harry in Tokyo, according to Tom Bauer, Chanduka added that proper governance had become an essential condition of the charity's funding. Corporate sponsors were no longer willing to hand over money without their experts confirming that Sentabale followed the rules of governance. Now, while they were on their flight to Singapore, Dr. Chanduka also told Harry that corporate brands hate controversy. She did a brand audit among 50 organizations and donors, and she told Harry that his personal brand value had crashed. People don't want to be associated with your Netflix shows, especially not with Meghan. And the survey also showed Meghan had little brand value in America. Across the globe, she had damaged Harry's remaining brand value. Ooh. Harry was stunned because he's used to being hailed as box office.
His brand value went down, just like Meghan's value went down. But whose fault was it? It was Meghan's. It was her fault that brought down her husband's popularity. He's a fraud now, Ribbit. He is. He's a Ribbit. He's a has-been. He's gone. One tear, left eye.
I mean, he was like, well, Johnny Depp got into a fight with Amber Heard. And Dr. Chanduka said, listen, the proof is in the finances. Following critical comments about Harry and Meghan on the Polo Club's websites and suspicions about Harry's acceptance of a $1 million fee for addressing an investment conference in Florida, American Polo sponsors canceled their donations. Audi withdrew its annual $1 million sponsorship. Nobody wants to be associated with a Page 6 story. Yeah. And eyewitnesses at the polo match in Singapore noted that Harry was really not very nice to Dr. Chanduka. But before Harry left Singapore, Mizuyaki revealed that Honda was considering ending their sponsorship of Sentabale. Well, I don't know how Bauer got all this, but damn. That's all I can say. So in the meantime, Harry told Dr. Chanduka that Sentabali was relying too much on his money and his polo matches, and he would only commit to future polo matches if the profit was doubled to at least 700,000 pounds.
What?
And Chanduka realized Harry hadn't listened to a word he said. He didn't want to register that spare, and the Netflix series had damaged his brand value. Now, by September of 2023, Harry understood Chanduka's warning because at the Sentabali board meeting, Harry agreed to close the charity's London office, move the management to Lesotho, and find more American donors. And more importantly, the charity would abandon its unique focus on HIV sufferers. Instead, the Project Pivot, Sentabali would promote children's health and education. And this transformation matched the ambitions of the staff in Lesotho and Botswana. So Harry agreed to re-engage with Sentabali by flying to Lesotho in 2024, his first visit, I might add, in almost 6 years.
Wow.
Now, it was at this meeting that Harry met a marketing expert through Dr. Chanduka. And this guy said to Harry, listen, Spare should have been cold duty. Your image is bad. You're going to have trouble raising money in the United States because you're not special. So the solution, Harry agreed, was to abandon the poor rich prince narrative and go back to basics. Americans love a comeback story, and we need American corporates who want to be associated with your mission, not you personally. They don't want your victimhood. We've got to pitch it right for the young philanthropists. It can't be Africans with a begging bowl. Now, to restore goodwill, Chanduka met Mirizaki for dinner in New York, and it didn't go well. Harry's request, Handa double his annual donation to 1 million, did not go down well. Miyazaki's response to this was to say, we're done and we're no longer going to support Polo and we're no longer going to support Sentabali. And she took an Uber and she left. And that was 23% of Sentabali's income. And when that was reported to Harry, Harry blamed Chanduka for losing the sponsorship, and the Zoom call didn't go well. So after Harry's return to Africa in October of 2024, Harry went back to Montecito and decided to bring Sentabali back under his control. And he and his other friends unleashed the Sussex machine on Dr. Chanduka. Well, we all know what happened. In March of 2025, Harry resigned from Sentabali along with Prince Sisu and the board of trustees. And in the charity's next annual report, Chanduka boasted that Sentabali's annual income had remained the same, and all the institutional donors had continued their support, and that the charity, without Harry, was secure. Of course, now we know all the behind the scenes stuff about the polo match, how they lost the venue because they brought Netflix in to tape some of the stuff. And then Meghan made a fool of herself on the stage with that trophy. And Harry asked Dr. Chanduka to make a statement and come out and publicly defend Meghan. And she said no, because she wasn't part of the Sussex PR machine. And now we know what really went on behind the scenes there as well. I don't get why Harry couldn't figure out that when they did the audit, they found that organizations and donors don't want to be associated with the Netflix shows and with the constant attacks on the monarchy.
Right.
Now let's move on to the Invictus Games. Don't forget that Tom Bauer actually showed up and was harassed by some Sussex squad members. So he absolutely was there, and he was there for the wheelchair basketball game between Nigeria and the United States at the Vancouver Convention Center. What he reported was very interesting. He said that it was the opening wheelchair basketball match, again, between Nigeria and the US, and the mood was very sullen. There were only 43 ticket-buying spectators who sat together in a hall that was fitted with seats for more than 2,000 people. Now, on the other side of the court, they said about 100 people were brought in by organizers, and they were corralled to surround the Sussexes when they arrived. So the edited TV pictures would suggest that the hall was full. And by the way, among the guests was the Nigerian Air Vice Marshal, Timothy Marquis. And in return for arranging the Sussexes' successful visit to Nigeria the previous year, he was expected to be warmly welcomed by the couple and for Harry to nominate his nation as the venue for the 2029 games. We all knew something was going on with that. However, without explanation, Nigeria's best basketball players and their coach were denied entry visas by the Canadian government. And in an uncanny silence, the 8-man Nigerian scratch squad wheeled themselves onto the court where they faced 22 professionally trained Americans. And while 2 men in the Nigerian team had lost a leg, no Americans were missing any limbs. As a matter of fact, they were suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and throughout the game, there was barely a murmur from the spectators, and halfway through the match, Harry and Meghan left their seats. Now, Harry and Meghan's presence at the game, according to Tom Bauer, was nothing but a media photo opportunity. 9 zoom lenses focused on them, tightly controlled. They clapped. Meghan stared lovingly at Harry. Harry watched the match intently, and nearby, a vetted TV station recorded them on a tight lens. And 10 minutes after their arrival, the whistle blew. The Americans beat the Nigerians 24-0. There was no cheers. The American team literally wheeled themselves off the court into a secluded area and got up and walked away. None of them appeared to be injured in any way. And after they disappeared, then Harry and Meghan decided to pose for selfies with the families. And 10 minutes later, they leave and go back to their penthouse suite. Her staff was feeding Instagram with shots of Meghan walking hand in hand with Harry, hugging the veterans' wives, looking soulfully at a wheelchair-bound Nigerian, and all of a sudden, all of her labeled clothing was linked to websites. Now, at one point, according to Tom Bauer, there was one middle-aged Italian veteran in a wheelchair reappearing constantly, pushing himself around the vast canteen, surrounded by 1,200 members of the competitors' families, all enjoying free food twice daily. By the way, just as an FYI, after Nigeria wasn't picked after rolling out the red carpet for Harry and Meghan, the statement put out read, and I'm quoting, "We are grateful for Italy, Nigeria, and Ukraine for the extraordinary commitment behind their proposals. They were all fantastic bids. The decision was not easy, and so our relationship with each country will continue through initiatives such as Nigerians Armed Forces Invictus Center and the Signature Program for Ukraine. We remain focused on growing Invictus movement, blah, blah, blah." Now, of course, Harry asked Invictus to make a statement, just like he asked Dr. Chanduka to make a statement, and they came out and said that it's disappointing to see the Times give prominence to commentary that appears driven by a long-established agenda rather than a genuine understanding of the Invictus Games and the community it supports. The foundation exists to support the recovery and rehab of wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans from around the world. Attempts to question the legitimacy of competitors or diminish the experience of those living with both physical injuries and invisible wounds, such as PTSD, are deeply disrespectful to the men and women the games were created for. Every time they tried to appear genuine, it rebounded. Even Trump said, "I'm not going to deport Harry. I'll leave him alone. He's got enough problems with his wife. She's terrible."
Yeah.
Harry agreed she could be the star of the Invictus Games, which was just about to open in Canada. And just before flying up in a private jet, she told everybody on Instagram. When they got there, Canadian organizers said, "How should we address them?" And Meghan insisted on ma'am, and Harry should be called sir. Now, Nick Booth, who was the chief executive at the time, he parachuted into the post after the dismissal of 2 Canadian executives. Both had resented the Sussexes, who were very pushy, who had exorbitant expenses for security, accommodations, and the private jet. And unlike Harry's own financial contribution to Sentabale, his lifestyle expenses for Invictus were financed by government and corporate funding to the games.
Wow.
The ousted Canadian executives said that Meghan was a distraction. She was bling, not rehabilitation. The media was totally ignoring the competitive aspect. It had turned into the Harry and Meghan show. And Nick Booth, though, with Harry's encouragement, didn't seem concerned. And to get global attention, they were focused on the opening ceremony. On February 8th, Katy Perry performed, and before she did, 500 competitors from 23 countries had paraded across the venue, and a few of the audience even noticed that 97% of the competitors were walking. Only a handful were in wheelchairs. So here comes Harry and Meghan from the penthouse suite across the street. They go onto this electric golf cart filmed by an Archwell cameraman as they were driven through the underground passage lined with all of these veterans that were being, go ahead, guys, cheer, cheer. And the video of this orchestrated welcome was posted on Meghan's Instagram. And then more videos about them were filtered through to her Instagram account. She put up a thing on Instagram about meeting children and hospitality on sacred land and other videos about what she was wearing. So here come the Meghan games. Well, sitting in full view of the audience, they were conscious that every move was being scrutinized. Meghan held his hand. Then Meghan tilted her head onto Harry's shoulder. And then at one point he got up to go down and give his speech and she plonked a kiss on him. They called it the limbic cling when she put her hand on either side of his face. Since Trump had called Meghan terrible, Harry couldn't resist retaliating just a little bit. He hailed the Invictus spirit of unity in a moment of difficulty and division where there's no shortage of crisis, no absence of uncertainty, blah, blah, blah. He got rapturous applause and he thought he had recovered the spotlight. But the next day, all of Canada's media ignored the event and even Harry's speech. The focus was completely on Meghan. She had stolen his moment again. By August of 2025, they realized they were running out of money. The Netflix show was over. The Spotify contract was over. Netflix was just trying to get rid of the products from Meghan's As Ever. And they also realized during 2025 that the Archwell Foundation, having failed to raise any new donations, it's basically they were going to be closing it. Things are going so bad with the two of them that Meghan has separated herself from Harry, except when their joint appearance would enrich her publicity. It's all about self-promotion. Now, at the same time, we have all of this stuff going on.
They're not getting along. Money issues. They're having problems. That's unfortunate. Now, what's going on with Andrew?
And, talk about stripping titles. And I don't think Meghan understands the potential consequences of deliberately aggravating the Prince and Princess of Wales. Now, at the end of January, Netflix launched a preview in Los Angeles for the network's new season, including With Love, Meghan. And so to remind the public about her series, she was a surprise guest at actress Kerry Washington's 48th birthday party. And smiling photos were posted the next day of Meghan at this party, saying she brushed aside the critics, but let's be honest, it didn't help. And then 4 days later, Netflix did the launch of its 2025 season in the Egyptian theater. And Meghan had every reason to be fearful because not only did her season fail to feature in their glossy brochure, but the head of Netflix content didn't even mention her in her speech. Instead, John Mulaney, the comedian, made a joke about her, saying that this is a fun experiment. Not since Harry and Meghan has Netflix given more money to someone without a specific plan. And the audience busted out laughing. At this time, their publicist said they should go down to Los Angeles and to be seen comforting the victims of the wildfires. And of course, the photos were taken and posted on Instagram. And instead of getting credit for her efforts, Meghan was mocked as an attention-seeking pseudo-royal. Justine Bateman even said they're ambulance chasers. I mean, essentially, Tom Bauer has confirmed that her appearance down there in Los Angeles was for publicity only. How disgusting. Now, in a strongly worded statement issued on Saturday, Harry and Meghan claim that Tom Bauer has crossed the line from criticism into fixation, and that the excerpts from the book, they've upset them. And they said, quote, "This is someone who has publicly stated the monarchy, in fact, depends on actually obliterating the Sussexes from the state of our life. The language speaks for itself. He has made a career out of constructing ever more elaborate theories about people he does not know and has never met. Those interested in facts will look elsewhere. Those seeking deranged conspiracy and melodrama will know exactly where to find him." Well, if they have an issue, they could sue him, right? All they have to do.
Exactly. All they have to do is sue Tom Bauer if they have a problem with the book. Sue, sue, sue. Defamation of character. Lie-a-doos and lie-a-doos. But he's not lying. He's telling the truth. Continue, Sue.
Do is file a lawsuit. These two are so litigious, but they won't sue. And you know why they won't sue? Because everything he has said and reported is the truth. A big thank you to Milano Returns on Twitter. If you want to see somebody who has a level of fixation, there's something wrong with that woman. And now their house of cards has fallen. Now, if any other stuff comes out, you know me, I'll cover it. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. Well, I don't know how Tom Bauer got all this information, but bless him. That's all I can say. And I wish I could order this book the second I can. I will. I'll read it, and then we'll cover that too. Okay? No, don't forget, as this is Tuesday, there'll be a second video coming out at 3 o'clock today, okay? Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Not that you'll get notifications. That's why I'm telling you, don't forget there's another video at 3 o'clock. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, a link to my father's book, which is still up for sale on Amazon, a link to my Amazon wish list, as well as a physical address. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.
Thank you, Sue, for your wonderful video. Now, it's getting late and I'm going to bed. And I hope you guys are too. But what we're going to do is we're going to do another book review of Meghan tomorrow. Okay? Me and hopefully Demon Dictator. But if not, we're going to go ahead and do that. I don't know if I'll have any more war information. I'll keep you guys posted. Love you. Thanks, Michelle. Nope, they haven't sued her. Oh, what time is it here? Oh, it's not even midnight. Sorry to keep you up, Samantha. Love you guys.